everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, Love for Intuitive Astrology. Today I will talk about trauma indicators in astrology, but also blockage indicators, conscious or subconscious, and how to solve it, right? Most of us have to deal with trauma in some way or have to deal with certain blockages that are preventing us from getting what we want, right? These are related to our imprinted belief systems. And some of those come from past lives, some of them come from ancestral lines, and others just are formed when we were born, because the first 10 years in our lives are really, we are like a sponge, right? So we take in all the information what we get. So if this information is not very positive, it is really hard to change these belief systems, these blockages, right? So yeah, your astrology chart can reveal a lot about that. So before we dive into the subject, I want you to know this is, of course, general descriptions. Like if you want to know personally what it does, what your blockages are, you can book a private reading with me. You find my email in the description box below. So send me an email. The details about booking the readings are also below. So check it out. Also, subscribe to my channel if you would like to know more about astrology, more about spirituality. I'm doing predictions for the new moon and full moon for each sign. So yeah, subscribe to my channel if you want to know more about that. So yeah, let's start. Where to start even, right? Because there's so many indicators of blockages and trauma, but one of them already is the ascendant. So this is how we get into this life. So if we have three major planets that are really could indicate some trauma. So we have Saturn, we have Pluto, and we have Mars, but we also have Chiron, right? The wounded healer. So these are the most painful placements. So when we think about Saturn, Saturn is really about karma. It's about unfinished business from previous lifetimes. So a part of your life that needs more attention, needs hard work in order for you to understand. So run away from Saturn. Your Saturn placement is getting smacked in the face, right? It's like, okay, this is part of your life that needs extra attention, extra hard work, and all these kind of things. So really pay attention to your Saturn. And then we have Pluto. Pluto is uncomfortable, right? Super uncomfortable. It's the underworld. So Pluto makes you dive in the underworld in order to raise your consciousness. So it's like you need to first see what happens down below in order to see the light. Like without darkness, there's no light. So this is Pluto. Then we have Mars, and Mars is tricky because Mars is not always bad. Mars can be really good because Mars is, on one hand, it's passion, it's moving forward, it's energy, it's, you know, it's creating, it's action. Like we need Mars to move forward. But you know, when a Mars has a bad square, for example, it can turn into aggression, violence. So you know, there are certain squares in astrology, like Mars square Pluto. This could indicate violence, right? So somebody could have to deal with violence in their younger years, or aggression, for hunger for power. Like your parents wanted to have power. Like in my opinion, Pluto is one of the most creates one of the most traumas. Like Pluto is really making you dive into this underworld. So, you know, if we see the sun is your father, Saturn could also indicate father. And then we have the moon, and the moon is mother, right? Venus is love. it's also more feminine. So if there's a blockage between, for example, the moon, which is your mother, and it's squaring Pluto, this mostly indicates a controlling mother or someone who wanted to have power over you. Does this mean this person wanted bad for you? No, this usually has to do with an ancestral pattern, right? It keeps happening one after another after another. So they most likely had a parent that was controlling also. So they had a trauma and they want for you to prevent having the same trauma. So what they do is they're trying to control life so much so you don't have to suffer like they do, and they keep the pattern going. So this is the hilarious situation. Like very often when we so much trying to break the pattern and wanting the best for our kids, then suddenly it's like you actually forward the pattern, right? So it's very tricky. Very often when we just accept that it's there, that's when you can break it. But when you actually avoid being the same as your parents, this is what very often repeats the same pattern, because you're actually not accepting a part of yourself. You're actually disassociating from that part of you, right? So we can say that ascendant is how you are brought into this life. So this has very often to do with how you were already in the womb. With an ancestral line can both be father, mother, but it's very often mother because it starts in the womb. That's how you're brought into this world. So if mother was very stressed having you very often, or had a lot of responsibilities or something, and these children often are born with Saturn on the ascendant or Pluto, right? So this means that if you have Saturn, you're born with a lot of responsibility. It means you are here to break part of your ancestral line. People with Pluto, I made a video about it. They are born with a lot of blockages. Like they have a lot of unfairness happening to them. It's like bumping against a wall. They are breaking part of the ancestral lines. Like Pluto is also darkness. So there was so much darkness in the family line. It starts to shake, and it needs to explode. Someone has to break these cycles. And with Saturn as well, it's like there was a certain heaviness in the family, or people were refusing to take responsibility for their lives. And it's like someone needs to break this pattern by taking all the responsibility. So they come in and they feel so heavy. Like, why? Whew. Why do I need to take care of my parents? Why do I need to take care of the people around me? Why am I the one with all the responsibility, right? Like, I shouldn't take care of my siblings, or I shouldn't have to do all these things. And then we have Chiron, and Chiron is often to do with unfairness in your life. So, it's also have to do with pain, and pain is unfair, right? So if you have that on your ascendant, you are kind of born with a painful feeling. I shouldn't be here. I don't deserve to live. So if you have all these placements, you understand where it's coming from. You can heal, right? So if you have a feeling that it's unfair for you to be here, you have to dive deeper. Why do you feel unfair? Did your parents feel unfair to live there? Were they blaming you for something, right? So this is how you can dive deeper into these placements. And then we have the fourth house, for example. If you have Saturn in the fourth house, fourth house is family. It's your roots. It's where you come from. So you could have a certain pain with, your family. You have to work hard to keep your family going, or you have to solve some family karma, right? So then you have to look at the connections that Saturn has with other planets and which houses. So you know better, like for example, if your Saturn would have a connection with the second house, like for example, I don't know, it would be Mars in the second house. It could be that you have to earn money for your family. You have to stand up for your family and earn money. And it's also very often has to do with your roots. Like you have to work so hard to feel stable, to feel stability. And it can often relate to a very cold family. You know, Saturn is very cold. It's hardworking. It's like, I need to work hard to earn respect, to feel loved. So if you have Saturn square Venus, it's like you feel unloved. Like, my family doesn't love me. I need to work so hard to feel love, right? And then when we have Pluto in the fourth house, it's very often related to power. Like, I can only deserve to be rooted in this earth, to be placed in a family, if I manipulate them to love me. If I manipulate them to love me, they will love me. So you feel this kind of this unfairness, like why doesn't my family can just love me for who I am, right? So this is very often in the fifth house as well. Like it's like they blocking your self-expression, like who you are. It's like kind of this unfairness, like why can't they just accept me for who I am? But yeah, family situations very often relate to the fourth house, the IC, especially if you have a planet connected to the IC. It could also have to do with, for example, if you have Chiron in Cancer, this could have to relate to the mother, right? And the same if you have Chiron in Capricorn, which have to do with the father. So these are painful situations related to the parents, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the father, right? So there could be some unfairness with parents. And Cancer is the mothers, ruled by the moon. So there could be some unfairness with that, right? And if you think about all these placements, every one of us have certain blockages, and they come from our DNA, from our ancestral line. And when we become aware of it, right, this is when humanity right now is waking up and they're becoming conscious of the patterns that are happening in their life. So, and then we have, for example, the eighth house. And the eighth house has to do with sex, debts, so debts of money. It could be a lot of abuse is happening in the eighth house. So Pluto in the eighth house can indicate sexual abuse sometimes. It can also indicate that, you know, it's also the occult. And, you know, very often if you have one of these planets, so Saturn, Chiron, or Pluto in the eighth house, it could be that you are being tortured or bullied from the other side. So it could be that you have to do with spirits or ghosts haunting you. It has to do with sexual abuse or something holding you back from showing yourself your intimacy, right? So if you have Saturn in the eighth house, you could have been born with a family that was very conservative when it comes to intimacy. Like, you don't really talk about it, you don't really share anything, like any intimate feelings, right? Because eighth house is also, you want to merge and be one with a soul, and this could prevent you from having that because you had a blockage in your family. Like there wasn't any like example of how to deal with this type of intimacy, right? It's also inherited. So if you have Chiron in the eighth house, for example, yeah, you need to be careful. Like Chiron is unfair, right? It's very hard to heal Chiron. It's more like, I'm gonna live with that. So yeah, having loans with Chiron in the eighth house, bad idea. Yeah, so, and also any placement. So if you say, for example, you have Sun in the eighth house and it's squaring Chiron, you still shouldn't do that, you know? And the Sun is male, masculine, father. So, and squaring Chiron could indicate a male will set you up with money, right? So this is how you read the chart. You need to see all the connections. Yeah, and then, for example, if you have Mars in the seventh house squaring Pluto, this seventh house is partnership. So this could relate to a violent partner. And, you know, I would say your like spirituality goes over your chart. So for me, astrology indicates where are your pains, where are your blockages, where's everything. And then you can meditate, and like everything can be resolved with meditation ultimately, because for a moment you're not making new karma. So that's why I'm an intuitive astrologer, because astrology for me is the tool to understand the person, and spirituality is a way to overcome your blockages, and psychology, it all comes together as a tool, right? Energies, law of attraction, it's all based in one. So going back to astrology, we also have the 12th house, right? So before we can align with spirit, we need to see the last dark hidden spots. So the 12th house has to do also with past lives. So a lot of times, for example, if you have Pluto in the 12th house, it meant you were someone very powerful in your last lifetime. You need to let go of that. So if you have the sun in the 12th house, you have to do, very often there's a distant father or someone who leaves, or someone who's just very distant, and there will be some unfair relationship. And the ultimate way to move on is to forgive. Forgive this person, forgive your father, forgive this male figure. If there's the moon, forgive your mother, forgive the female figure that, you know, like make your life difficult. It's a blind spot, but it also has to do with your past lives. So a lot of times these people come into our life because we did the same thing to them in another life. They come back now to make things even. So for example, you know, also the nodes count with this. So if you have sun or moon square south node, square north node, right? You have this T square. So 12th house sun or moon squaring the nodes means there will be several males or females in your life that will make your life difficult and show you your unfinished karma. So what can we do? We can say, this is unfair, they're treating me badly, they're horrible to me. Or you say, 12th house, past life, I probably at some point have done something to them. So what do? I forgive me for hurting them, and I forgive them for hurting me. And you can light a little candle and do a little prayer and say you forgive. You see? You let go of the pains, you let go of the anger, you let go of the unfairness. So yeah, so like I said, look at the squares with one of these hard planets, but forgive the people. If you are, these are the parents, right, or people that did something to you, I don't say stay with these people. Don't stay in an abusive relationship. Don't stay with, you know, like if it's your parents, keep healthy boundaries, right? I wouldn't always say cut off, but with relationships or someone is very abusive, right? Forgive, let go with love, and move on. Like sometimes, like a lot of people that have been hurt are trying to heal other people. They want so badly to heal the other person, but what happens is by trying to heal other people, they're trying to heal themselves. There's still a part of you unhealed. So you're trying to help others, and by helping others, you're avoiding helping yourself. So always help yourself first, and let people go in love. They will heal themselves when they are ready to. Like for me, I went through life very unconscious at the beginning of my life. Pluto on the ascendant. I was born with Pluto on the ascendant, square Venus. Hello. How do I, what is love, right? I didn't even know what love is. What is self-love? What is loving me? I don't know. Like, I know only, like, it's either manipulating people into love, keeping them very short on the leash. Like, how do I get people closer to me? But actually letting go and letting life happen and flow through you is the most loving thing you can do. Also, when you set healthy boundaries, right? Saturn in the second house very often has to do with healthy boundaries. When you have healthy boundaries, people that are toxic will not come back to you, because people that come in your life are just unhealed parts of yourself, right? So they come because there's this unhealed part of you that says, hello, I'm here, I'm annoying you, I'm draining you, and I'm telling you, you know, when someone makes you very angry, why do they make you angry? Why? So it's not always that people mirror something within you. Sometimes they mirror what you lack. So this is the classic narcissist empath phenomena, right? So imagine you attract people on the same frequency as you. So you send out a certain vibe. I send out, I have no boundaries. I help everybody I see. And I'm still trying to figure out why my parent doesn't love me. So because you have no boundaries, you attract people that step over your boundaries. Because you want to attract the same person. But how can you attract the same person if you attract people on the same frequency, right? So if you have boundaries, you'll attract people that also have healthy boundaries. If you're emotionally available, you will attract people that are also emotionally available. So see how this mirrors, right? So if on the balance scale, you are giving this much love, I'm so loving, I have so much love to give. You have so much love to give that you can't receive nothing. So what is on the scale of the balance? This little. So you will attract narcissists. It's like, because these people think I should take, I should have. But a healthy person is in balance in the middle and says, I'll give and I'll receive. I'll give and I receive. You see how the energies are flowing? Healthy relationships, healthy friendships. I give, I receive. I give, I receive. I give, I receive. So I'm now in a healthy balance. I'm not trying to fix anyone. I'm just being myself. I say yes when I feel like. I say no when I feel like, right? So, because I know a lot of you viewers are indeed empaths, you know, and you have to do with a lot of abusive relationship have to do with some kind of overpowering, some kind of narcissism. So please be aware that in order to be in a healthy relationship, or in order to solve karma, you need to forgive yourself. You know, we all make mistakes. We've been sometimes on both ends, right? On both ends. Very often when we are looking for unavailable partners, we become narcissists to people that are very loving. So it goes back and forward. So it's all very complicated. But, you know, I'm going too far off. I'm just so interested in this subject. So, and I hope you can relate to it so it can help you in your journey also. But yeah, look at Chiron, Mars. If you have bad aspects with Mars, Saturn, Chiron, Pluto, very, very big one, Pluto to me. Also, there is Ceres, and Ceres is an asteroid. And for example, in my chart, I have Ceres conjunct my sun. And Ceres is nurturing, but it's also cycles. So leaving, you know, it's based on the mythology. So it's about someone is leaving and coming back. So what happened is son, father. My father left when I was little. And now he's back. He's back into my life, right? So this is about leaving and coming back, right? Me, 12th house, moon, Scorpio. Wow. Scorpio is another tricky one. right? So a lot of karma, because Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. So Scorpio is about the depths. So if you have any planets in Scorpio, this also means that you need to go into depths. So if you have Venus in Scorpio, that right now is happening on this autumn equinox, the day that I'm filming this, it's you have to go to the depths in order to emerge and to go to the light, right? So my 12th house moon squaring my nodes, hello, females in my life, my mother, my friends. I keep attracting women that are not half the best for me. But at first I saw myself as a victim, but I'm not a victim. I can see past lives now. I can see past lives. In a past life, my mother used to take care of me. She took care of me, and she wasn't even my mother. So she did something amazing, and I was spoiled, annoying person. So what happened is I was born now. My mother couldn't really take care of me, so I took care of her a lot. And what happened is pattern is broken. I forgave her. She forgave me. Now we're good. All good. We're fine. She's back to my mother. We are back in alignment. So sometimes you need to get the puzzles together, right? And I'm here speaking because I've done all the work and I'm still working on it. But meditation, figuring out my blockages, it really, really worked. I have both my parents back. My father, I haven't seen him for my whole life. He came into my life 4 years ago. 4 years ago, all good. We're all good. We forgave each other. I forgave him. I saw in my past life, I left him. I left him also. So maybe we don't remember what we did in a past life, but once you have the big overview and you understand what's going on, you can forgive more easily and it becomes less painful, right? Forgiveness is basically forgiving yourself, because if everyone mirrors you, forgive them, right? Forgive them. No matter how hard, no matter what they did to you, no matter how bad, they just followed the pattern of karma. At some point this happened to you and now it's happening back, right? And some really painful experiences make us grow also. So clean up the patterns, learn how to forgive, check your chart, right? See where these blockages are. I really hope this was helpful for you, right? I can talk about this for ages because I'm so interested in especially trauma healing, because I've been doing that in my own life for such a long time, right? Me, no boundaries, nothing, bullied, problem with the parents, self-esteem, 0. So you gotta go through it, but it makes you grow. And this is why they say once you grow, you can teach others how to do it. So, and a lot of people that I have in my sessions are either teachers themselves. I see them grow. I see them from going on the streets, from being a drug addict on the streets, to be a psychologist, spiritually awaken. Forgive yourself for your past, please. It's your past. We evolve daily. We become different daily, and we do our best. You do your best to become your best version. And by being that version, we make mistakes, we learn from it, we grow. If you keep repeating the same mistake, it means you're not learning. So learn, forgive, move on, and try to do it different. See life as a little puzzle. See it as, it's a little puzzle. It's a game. And love yourself. Love everybody. Not everybody is on your level yet. Or maybe you're not on someone else's level, right? But does that matter? No, because I'm my soul, you are your soul, that person is their soul. We're all our own soul. We're responsible for our karma, our things, our life. So keep that in mind. This is how I'm going to close the video. So if you like my channel, my videos, subscribe to my channel. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment to me below how any of these planets are in your natal chart and how that presented itself in your life, please share. I would love to hear from you. Share with the community so you can compare each other's stories and find solutions together. I am just the facilitator here, but in reality, we are a team, we are a group, we learn from each other, and I learn from all my clients also. I learn from everybody around me. We're never done learning. Nobody's better than the other. We're all equal, and that makes us one. So bless you so much. I love you so much, and I wish you a really amazing day. Bye-bye.